What's up, guys? I'm gonna get my coffee and give everybody a minute maybe to sign on here. So I'll be with you in a second. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. We're just gonna let some people jump on here and then we're going to demold what we made yesterday. So for those of you who weren't here yesterday, we did a DIY silicone mold. I'm gonna put some gloves on because I really don't want this stuff all over my hands. But we had taken just a mat here from just a silicone mat, which last night after I did this, I think I made a serious mistake because I couldn't find my resin tape, as you guys know. So essentially, I couldn't find the resin tape, and I have like 6 rolls of it. I don't know what I did with it. I'm trying to be more organized, which is leading me to be not organized. But anyway, I took this silicone mat. I took a plastic soap mold, which you will see when we take this out. I used some pieces of the silicone from out of this container. I always leave the old silicone in here because it lets you know when you pull it out if your silicone has cured correctly. So there are some lumps and bumps in here from me putting those pieces in because I didn't really break them up. But that's fine because you can just trim them off with some scissors or with cuticle, nail cuticles trimmers. So I used some air dry clay around, and this is exactly what I was afraid of, that this stuck. Oh, but it did come off for the most part, so maybe I haven't ruined this mat entirely. So this was just some air dry foam clay. I have a big container of it too, but this is what it looks like. And when it comes out of the container, it's like super stringy if you guys haven't ever too, but this is what it looks like. And when it comes out of the container, it's like super stringy if you guys haven't ever. I find then trying to hot glue stuff and also to make a really good seal because you can kind of spread this out around it. Oh, so yay, it looks like this stuff is all gonna peel off of here. I did use some mold release spray as well, which is right here. This was the brand that I used. So I did spray this mold. So this was a 3D printed mold that I got off of Etsy. I don't remember the seller's name right now, but they just do 3D printing. The only thing I didn't like about this particular mold versus the square that I bought was that this one has a line right here. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It has a line right here, which is, maybe you can see it better on this side. I don't know. But there's a line on this that is so stupid because it goes into the inside. What's the point of having this as a silicone mold housing if you're gonna like literally leave crappy lines? But anyway, whatever. So I took a plastic soap mold. Again, I get most of my soap molds from Bulk Apothecary or from Lone Star Candle Company, and there's also there's a bunch of different online websites. Put it inside of here, sprayed it with, again, the mold release. And now what we're gonna do is just kind of press around the sides of this mold, kind of breaking the seal a little bit. Because we need to break the seal away so we can push this out. So if you just keep pushing around here like I'm doing, you'll be able to push this right out. And again, using the silicone mold spray really helps. So the mold comes out very clean, obviously. Just have to remove a little bit of this stuff. Again, you can use something, a little bit of alcohol on a cloth or a baby wipe to get the excess. This is mostly just the clay on the outside. So I was worried too. I wasn't sure, as you can see, we used an ammonite. I wasn't sure if this was going to seal. I guess using this mat was really beneficial because it did seal down there and did not allow anything to seep into the inside. So the next thing we're gonna do here, look at this. Look how easy this is popping out. Okay, so I have to say, this was more of a success than I thought it was gonna be. Look at that. So there we have this pretty badass looking mold. So just so that you guys can see, this was the soap mold. I think there was 3 or 4. I think there was 3 of these big shells on the plastic soap mold. So I just cut it out and I trimmed it close around here. I still wanted to leave this little bit of a lip because that way it gave me something inside of the mold, which you can barely see it, that there was that lip. But I wanted to give a little bit of a lip. This turned out great. The bottom does need a little bit of trimming, but again, we can do that with either some scissors or with the nail, cuticle nail trimmer. And I'm so freaking happy with how this turned out. It looks spectacular. No bubbles. Again, this was a test piece for me. So to me, it doesn't really matter that it has some of this bumpiness on here, but this was a total success. I'm super fucking happy. So what that means to me is that now I have a super cool way to make a bunch of different molds. I will probably trim a little bit closer around the mold instead of leaving that little lip. I wasn't quite sure how this was going to work out. So you can see a little lip right there. I'm going to trim that off in the future. The silicone spray worked fabulously because typically silicone sticks to silicone. So it should have stuck all over this mat and literally ruined it. And I was worried about that. So give it a generous spray before you attempt this. So I'm gonna clean off this mat. I'm gonna clean up this mold housing, and I'm gonna try another piece I had wanted to do. And what did I do with it? Let me see. I had wanted to do, I put a bunch of stuff on here yesterday because I didn't have enough room in the other mold. Oh, here we go. So let me show you what all of this was. So here was the soap mold that I used. Again, there was 3 in here. You can see that I've used a couple of them already. I have one left in here. And then this was the other one I wanted to do, which I'm gonna do next. It's brains. So the next one I'm gonna do is the brains. And the brains is gonna be a great one because you can put that inside of skulls or a number of other things. So I'm gonna do the brains next. Now that I know it works, I use this silicone here, which is white. So you are able to color it with mica powders or any kind of glow in the dark, whatever it is that you want to use. That's one of the reasons why it's white. And beyond that, I'm just going to clean up this mess now and clean up that mold. And we are good to go for this project. Hope you guys learned something between yesterday and today. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, or you can ask them now because we're all finished. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have if you're just jumping on. Hello, hello. Hi guys, sorry if you're just joining, you're kind of coming in here right at the end. This wasn't a long live today. This was just the demolding of what we did yesterday. Anybody have any questions about the process? Anybody made these before themselves? All right, guys, it doesn't seem that anyone has any questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off here. So if there's anything that I can do to help you, absolutely let me know. But in the meantime, again, thank you so much for joining. And I will snap a picture of this and post it a little bit later. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.